The best build for Mydei, I'm not good with the names, guys. They don't call me the name butcherer for nothing, guys. Honestly, guys, I might be eating these names faster than Caterice is pissing off HSR fans with her max revival feature, right? Anyways, guys, let's not get into leak territory here. The best build for Mr. Middington, because I feel like they kind of hoed him on his kit. Not saying he's bad by any means. I think he's going to be a top tier DPS. I just feel like he could have done a tad bit more. Anyways, guys, that's beside the point, and that's for another video. So make sure you subscribe to the channel to hear that. Let's go ahead and start off where all great guys start off. How do you play him? How does he work, right? So the basic breakdown of how Mr. Middington works is think of Blade, but not Blade, because he takes his own HP from his skill moves. He'll be taking the percentage of that HP that you lost, which is normally around 50%, and then applying that to a charge meter. At 100 of these charge points, you'll actually be entering the Vendetta state. After entering this Vendetta state, he can do a couple of cool things here. Not only can he get a free revival of himself when he's in this state, he's also going to be giving himself an immediate turn by advancing his own action, and on top of this too, guys, increasing his own max HP, which will then inherently increase his overall damage, which we'll get into in a second here. But he's doing a lot of things when he's entering this state. You're going to be having access to two separate moves, that being his Kingslayer and his Godslayer. Now, how you're activating Kingslayer is by using 100 charge, and this is going to be consuming his max HP yet again, giving himself more charge. But not only is it doing this, guys, it's going to be dealing damage to the enemy based off a portion of his own max HP and hitting one main target and then also hitting adjacent targets as well. Also, I mentioned he has a move called Godslayer 2. This is the more enhanced version of that move. This means you're using 150 of his charge points and dealing even more damage based off of his max HP. But the special thing with activating the Godslayer, he's actually getting an extra turn with this as well. And what is an extra turn, you might ask? If you ever played with Zila, Zila is the definition of what an extra turn is. This is not advancing your action back to the front. It doesn't even actually count as a turn, right? Because whenever you get a kill with Zila, you enter her resurgence state, which is an extra turn. This means if you have any buffs on him, it doesn't count as a turn against that buff, so he can still take use of the full buff there. Think of Bronya, for example, right? Bronya can put a buff on you, but after that turns over, that buff is all the way gone. If you were to get an extra turn with him, that buff will still be up because it hasn't switched into his next turn yet. The extra turn is like in a special state that you can still allow him to use his buffs and stuff like that. Now, I want to note one really big thing here. You better be lucky you have a revive, because this will be dropping his defense stat to 0. This means absolutely any name of the word, any sense of the word, you build no defense on him at all. It is 100% the most wasted stat you can get, because it'll be dropping to 0. So nothing, don't get any. No defense stats. If you have it, honestly, if you have a good set with defense, like a defense subset on it, okay, whatever. Run for the hills if you have a defense subset on there, guys. It doesn't matter at all. How could I forget? I almost forgot the ultimate move, guys. The ultimate move will be restoring 20% of his own max HP, so this does give him some type of survivability here. This also is going to be giving him a free additional 20 charge points, so this goes into the meter of getting up his special attacks and stuff like that. But the really big thing with this ability, guys, is it has a taunt, meaning whenever you use the ultimate ability, you're doing massive damage on the enemy. You're doing pretty big damage to the enemy, but you're taunting the enemies as well. You're taunting the one main enemy and also adjacent enemy, so every enemy will be hitting him. If you're getting hit with him, that means you're building up his charge faster, which means you get those enhanced skill attacks, which means you get free action on him. This could be a really good look for him, and I can see a lot of different combinations of teams you can run him on, because you want to be making sure he's diminishing HP at all costs, meaning if you were to run maybe like a Jingliu on a team there, it could diminish some HP, that would help. Jade as well could maybe help in a situation. And while we're on teams, guys, let's go ahead and talk about his best in slot teammates now, because I do think he can be ran on a plethora of teams. His best in slot team, guys, is going to be a hyper carry comp, and that best team is probably going to be a team with him, Sunday, Tribby, and Hua Hua. Hua Hua gives energy, Sunday gives energy and action advance, and Tribby is also going to be just giving some really nice buffs as well. He gives himself a lot of buffs already, so Tribby does play really well with Sunday. Also plays well with Hua Hua as well, because you're getting the additional damage off, and also Tribby can scale herself off of your allies' max HP, so you're getting a pretty good HP buff for Tribby as well to do some damage. But that's not the only team you can run here, guys. I think Sparkle and Remembrance MC also work really well here as well, because Sparkle action advance you to the front, also helps you with skill points. Remembrance MC, true damage. You can never go wrong with true damage. This will also help his damage out quite a bit. As far as the stands go, guys, I think Hua Hua works well here, Locho works good here, Gallagher can work well here, and also one option that I don't hear many people talking about, and that's actually Fu Xuan. Hey, look, I know I was shitting on Fu Xuan, alright? Now, there is a pro and a con to Fu Xuan. First of all, the con to Fu Xuan, she puts damage mitigation on you, which means he's taking less damage from enemies. If he's taking less damage from enemies, that's less charge you get. But pros to Fush 1, you get crit rate increase, which could be pretty decent on him. You're also getting a max HP increase as well from her skill move. She also can provide some type of healing too, so I mean, like, this could work. I'm not going to say it's the best option, but I do think she's a slept upon option just because she does give increased crit rate, she does give increased max HP, she's just negating some damage, which leads to less ult charge. I just want to let this be known, it's an option you can run, not saying it's the best. It's just an option that people overlook. But outside of those hyper carry teams, guys, like I mentioned, I think he can be ran on teams with maybe like dual DPS and stuff like that. I think with Miss Catpiss, he'll probably work well with Miss Catpiss, right? Why do I think he'll work well with this Catpiss? I don't know. It's just a little assumption I have to have here. Maybe run him in a dual DPS scenario with Tribby as your support. I don't know. Maybe that would work. Maybe it wouldn't work. Who the fuck knows? Anyways, guys, outside of that, other teams you can run him on. I think that maybe if Jingle you got a decent buff, like if Jingle you got one of those little juicy buffs they are talking about giving characters, right? I think he could work well there too because she consumes max HP of your allies whenever she uses skill attacks. So I think they could play pretty hand in hand with each other as well. Also, I think Jade could be a pretty good match for him too because Jade also, I think, consumes HP from your allies too. So really anything that would consume the HP of your allies would help him out because the more HP he consumes or the more HP he loses, the more ult charge he gets. So I think those are some other options you can run here. I think in the future, I genuinely do see him being used as more of a sub DPS or a secondary DPS in a dual DPS scenario because of all the free stats he already gives himself. He works really well with Tribby already because he sets the baseline high on the damage multiplier scale and then goes from there. Anyways, guys, that's all that I have to mention on teams. Now let's go ahead and talk about the best in slot light cones for him. Now obviously his best in slot light cone is going to be his signature light cone, guys. This light cone is essentially going to give him everything he needs in terms of max HP, extra damage percentage, everything like that. But there are other options you can use. Second best in slot option, as I mentioned, he is the upgraded blade, right? So Blade's light cone works here too. I don't know what else I was going to say with that, but yeah, Blade's light cone can work here too. Third best in slot option though, guys, is going to be a secret valve. This is going to be Arlon's signature light cone. Yes, guys, Arlon, our favorite destruction unit. Yippee! But yes, guys, Arlon's light cone will be allowing him to get increased damage based off of his max HP in comparison to the enemies. His max HP will probably be low a lot of the time, so you'll probably have a pretty easy time of activating this ability. And then finally, for the free-to-play options, guys, you can run the free-to-play event Rappa light cone here if you have it. So free play Rappa light cone gonna work here. It's gonna be giving him increased max HP and increased crit damage as well. So this will be activating practically every single turn. So this is the best in slot free play option for him. If you don't have this for whatever reason, then you can run with the MOC shop light cone, which is the Flames of Far. This will practically be up at all times as well because this will be increasing his damage whenever you consume over 25% of his max HP, which practically every one of his moves does. So this can be pretty useful as well. That's really all I have to say in terms of light cones. You want to make sure you're using light cones that affect max HP. And that's really it. Anyways, gamers, let's go ahead now and talk about the moment you've been waiting for. The relics! Yes, sir! But before we hop into that, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Catalyst is going to destroy the game and the community as we know it, so we need to stand strong, guys. Hit that subscribe button now so the HSR content keeps on pumping. Guide makers are practically dead at this point because of everything they've added into the game, so subscribing would help the channel tremendously. 10,000 subscribers is my goal by the end of the year, and then we'll do a massive giveaway. Anyways, gamers, let's now go ahead and hop into the best relic sets you can run on them. Starting off with the best 4-piece set first is going to be the new Ear Edition set. Now the new Ear Edition set, guys, first of all is going to be increasing his crit rate, which honestly he gives himself a lot of crit rate already, but this helps him get to that threshold even faster. This means you can focus more on crit damage and HP substats. But not only is it doing this, guys, at a 4-piece set, it's also going to be increasing his skill and ultimate damage by 20%. But the really big part here is increasing the skill damage after using the ultimate, meaning you need a little bit of timing with this, but you activate the ultimate, you take some aggro damage from the enemies, right? So you probably want to activate the ultimate right before enemies attack. You get hit, you activate all of his abilities there, all of his enhanced skill attacks there. He's doing absolutely massive damage with this set. Now, this is not the only set that can be run. Longevious Disciple can be a nice second best in slot option here. Increases his max HP, so it increases his damage. And then on top of that, whenever HP is lost, he's increasing his crit rate even more. Don't really need the crit rate here. You're kind of overcrapping on crit rate at this point, but nonetheless, this is another viable option to run. Let's hop into the planner set. The best planner set you can get is actually going to be a new planner set that's coming to the game, guys. Yes, you'll have to farm for a whole new planner set, which is, it's already in the game right now. What am I talking about? Go ahead and farm it right now. The bone set, the same set you use on Tribby, you use on him. It increases his max HP. After you reach that 5,000 HP threshold, guys, you'll be increasing his crit damage even more because he needs so much crit damage, guys. And then for the other set you can run here, guys, Runelin Arena, guys, you hit that 70% crit rate minimum. You get free crit rate from this set, and then you enhance his skill attack. So, I mean, You can't really go wrong with Runelin Arena here either. But that's all that I have to mention on sets now, guys. Let's go ahead now and talk about those recommended stats. On the boots is going to be speed and HP percentage. On the body is going to be crit damage. On the rope is going to be HP percentage. And on the orb is going to be imaginary damage percentage or HP percentage. The reason why I said speed or HP percentage on the boots is really going to depend on what team you have him on. If you're using him on a Sunday team, you want to make sure he reaches a certain speed threshold to work well enough with Sunday to make sure you're using it efficiently. Now hopping into those recommended substats and recommended stats in general. Speed, crit rate, crit damage, HP percentage. Speed is going to be completely dependent on what team you're running him on. If you're running him on a slow team, don't worry about this at all. But if you're running him on a team with Sunday, you want to make sure you're reaching at least 135 speed. And then you want your Sunday to be around 134 speed. Mr. Middington's in front of Sunday, so you can multi-action use Mr. Middington whenever you want. But like I mentioned, it really depends on what team you're running him on and how you're actually wanting to run him. Other stats though, these are kind of non-negotiable. Crit rate 100%, crit damage 250%, and HP is going to be over 8,000. For the crit rate, that's a really easy number to hit, guys. Probably easy to get within this kit. Not gonna lie, guys. And then finally for that crit damage, you would think this is hard to hit. It's really not that hard to hit. Just get as much crit damage as possible. Pile it on. I think you're going to have a great dandy day there. The more crit damage you can pile on, the better he'll work with someone like Tribby. Anyways, guys, that's going to do it for today's video. Are you looking forward to Mr. Middington, or are you saving for the Broken Queen, Miss Caterice, Miss Catpiss? I don't know. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Are you pulling for him? Or are you not? Have you pulled him already? And was this guide helpful? Anyways, guys, that's going to do it for today's video. Hopefully you enjoyed. Subscribe to the channel, and that's going to do it. Bye, guys. See you later.